Welcome to 21st Sports Recap and Reaction for the New York Jets at the Miami Dolphins in their Week 4 matchup played October 4th, 2015 over in London. So technically it was a home game for the Dolphins, but they were in the United Kingdom. We're going to go over the scores, we're going to go over the stats, we're going to give our breakdown and analysis. Let's start off in the first quarter. About 4 minutes in, Chris Ivory punches it in from 3 yards out for the touchdown. Nick Folk kicked the extra point. It was 7-0 Jets over the Dolphins. Then with less than 5 minutes left in the first quarter, Nick Folk would kick a 22-yard field goal. It was good, and it was 10-0 Jets over the Dolphins after 1 quarter of play. Then with less than 9 minutes left before halftime, Folk added a 48-yard field goal, and it was 13-0 New York over Miami. Then with about 7 minutes left before halftime, Ryan Tannehill hit Jake Stoneburner for an 8-yard touchdown as the Dolphins finally got on the scoreboard. Franks kicked the extra point, and it was now a 6-point game with the Jets in the lead 13-7. Then with about a half a minute left before halftime, Ryan Fitzpatrick hit Eric Decker for a 10-yard touchdown, and Nick Folk hit the extra point, and it was now a 13-point lead with the score 20-7 Jets over the Dolphins. So that was the score at halftime. Then in the third quarter, about 4.5 minutes in, Zach Stacy punches it in from 2 yards out. Folk added the extra point. It was a 20-point lead for the Jets with the score New York 27, Miami 7. Then in the fourth quarter, 10 minutes left to play in regulation, Tannehill hits Kenny Stills for a 10-yard touchdown. Franks added the extra point, and it was now 27-14 as it was a 13-point lead still for the Jets over the Dolphins with 10 minutes left to play. The Dolphins would end up throwing 2 interceptions in the final 10 minutes of this game. First, Revis got an interception, and then later on in the fourth quarter, a second interception, this one in the end zone, as Tannehill was looking for Cameron, but Williams was there to pick it off and get the touchback, and then all that was left to do was for the Jets to take 3 knees in the victory formation as the defense comes up big for New York to secure the win. Like I said, 2 interceptions in the final 10 minutes for the Jets as they come up big time overseas, and they win this one 27-14, and the Jets are now 3-1, and the Dolphins are 1-3. And in this game, Ryan Fitzpatrick 16 for 29, 218 pass yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Ryan Tannehill 19 for 44, 198 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Chris Ivory went off in this game as he had a career high rushing yards, 166 yards off of 29 carries. He had a touchdown. And Brandon Marshall, 7 receptions for 128 yards. Decker had 4 receptions for 46 yards and a touchdown. And for the Finns, their leading rusher was the receiver Jarvis Landry, who had 2 carries for 29 yards. He also had 4 receptions for 40 yards, which gave him 69 total yards. Kenny Stills had 5 receptions for 81 yards and a touchdown. Of course, Stoneburner had 2 receptions for 16 yards and a touchdown. And we look at the kickers. Franks 2 for 2 on the extra points. He did not attempt a field goal in this game. Nick Folk 2 for 3 on the field goals. He was 3 for 3 on the extra points. And we look at the defense. And on defense, Jones was the leading tackler in this game with 10 tackles for the Dolphins. They also had the interception by Bowman. But for the Jets, they actually had a few picks and sacks as Revis and Williams came up with those 2 picks, as I stated earlier, there in the final 10 minutes. They also had a sack by Harris, 2 sacks by Wilkerson, and a forced fumble by Wilkerson as well. First downs, 23 for the Jets, 17 for the Dolphins. The Dolphins did not convert at all on third down. 0 for 12. This is probably the worst, most pathetic, third down conversion rate ever. It's just 0. 0 for 12. They also went for it 4 times on fourth down. 0 for 4. See you later, Philbin. You're done. 6 for 16 for the Jets on third down. It's just 37%. Total net yards 4 for 25 for the Jets, 226 rather for the Dolphins. Net rushing yards 207 for the Jets, just 59 for the Fins. 218 net for the Jets through the air, 167 for the Dolphins. Tannehill sacked 3 times for a total of 31 yards lost. Really, the penalties, a lot of penalties in this game. 14 penalties for the Jets. They were penalized 163 yards. That shows how dominant of a performance this was by the Jets, that they had that many penalties and they still won by 2 scores. 13 points and 163 penalty yards. That's insane. 9 penalties for the Dolphins, 80 penalty yards. We look at the red zone, 3 for 4 for the Jets, 75%. 2 for 3 for the Dolphins, 66%. The Jets dominated the time of possession, 37 minutes and 23 seconds versus 22 minutes and 37 seconds for the Dolphins. So the Jets did it with a huge performance by Ivory. He just ran all over this defense. Marshall put up a big game as well. And the Jets defense just dominant. They got the 3 sacks, they got the 2 interceptions. Especially they came up huge in the final, stretch there in the fourth quarter. But they were pretty solid all game long. And the Dolphins just could not get anything going. Especially on third downs, the Jets owned the Dolphins. They were super clutch in this game, just shutting them down on third and on fourth. And really, the Dolphins team, 1-3 now, they're very talented. And you got to wonder how much longer is Philbin going to be the coach. He's on his way out. The news is coming out of this game that he's going to be meeting with the owner, and I would not be surprised if we find out that he is resigning on Monday morning or in the next couple weeks if it ain't this Monday. I would not be surprised at all. So we'll see how that all shakes out, though. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions. Thank you very much for listening. It's greatly appreciated. I hope you're having a good day and had a great weekend and enjoyed all the sports.